Hey everybody, it's just me, Lindsay. I am going to do a video today on organization with school for those who maybe like organization but can't really stick to it. I'm one of those people. For years, it's that first week is awesome, but after that I just kind of go downhill. Because this is my first one, it'll be brief, because there's some stuff that I can't actually show you until I do a school haul in the next month, because the semester is a little over a month away. So this right here will be a very brief one based on last semester and some stuff that I still have left over. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get started. The first tip, number one tip that saved me last semester, and I can't express how much this helped me over some of the other tips that I tried to use that I've seen, heard, tried, is I prefer not to carry around 50 different binders. I know it works. A lot of people say that they really like having a binder for each class, and then coordinate it with a color of notebook, which is really awesome if you're a very organized person, but like I said, I'm not. I am. That first week's awesome, and then it just all goes downhill from there. So what I like to use are one of these things. You get it at Walmart for, I think this was like $2.97. Don't quote me on that, but you know, it's something that could possibly help you, definitely in the long run. Very cheap. You can get them fancier than this. I just got plain black because, to be honest, when I first got it, I didn't think it looked very awesome. Everyone gets the neat notebooks with the cool patterns, which, you know, I'll show you later that I have one, but you know, I saw this and thought maybe it might be a little bit easier for me than carrying around a notebook for each class and a binder for each class, because I have a really bad habit of going, oh hey, you know, class, you know, my second class is here and my class ran over, I have 3 minutes, I'll just shove it in my book bag, I'll fix it after my next class, I swear to it, and then it never happens. It gets bunched up in the bottom of my book bag, it's an assignment, I miss it, I don't turn it in, and then just, you know, my grades go, well, pretty much down the toilet. And it's kind of this vicious snowball effect. You know, it starts with a, hey, one paper, I promise I'll get it fixed, and then next thing I know, I'm just backed up farther and farther and farther. So yeah, definitely invest in one of these. I think they're amazing. I will never ever go back to any other way. What I did, sorry. And as you can see, I will clean it out as I go through the semester based on how many notes I have. Like my biology lecture, you know, this is only half of the stuff that I had to carry around, so it's definitely something that, depending on the size of the material that you have for the classes, you may just need to move on from that and, you know, clean it out as you go. Other ones, I would not take out one thing during the semester, aside from to study or whatever, but I would never actually put it away, and they were absolutely, you know, that's perfectly fine. So to show you guys what it is now, based on the second half of the semester, last semester, a ton of stuff, as you guys can see. I mean, get it a little bit closer. Like I said, biology, I have different classes. And then I have each one of the little tabs labeled with a class. Math, biology, which you guys might be seeing it backwards. Sorry, but it's pretty self-explanatory there. And I just, you know, printed those out. I have, you know, fancy little label maker that my dad happened to get me for Christmas, sort of, and so I use that. It's awesome. But I mean, I could even fit small books in here, my biolab book, and whatnot, and it's one of those things, because it's so easy just to shove, I'm good at it. I was good at shoving things in my backpack without going, okay, I'm going to pull out this binder, I'm going to put stuff in it, I'm going to close it back up, I'm going to put it back in there, but oh wait, I have 3 minutes and I have to go all the way across campus and I just don't want to spend the time fixing that situation. This is an easy thing. You have it, you rip it open and you shove. Keeps everything organized. It's ridiculous. I'm probably going to buy a new one for this semester that's more fancy, you know, pretty colors, you know, stuff like that. Like I said, this was I probably won't use it, but then it turned out to the best thing I'd ever used in my school career so far. Like I said, invest in one of these, especially if you have a hard time keeping track of everything. They are ridiculous. Next thing critical is a agenda. I have a fancy, fancy iPhone. I've had nice phones in the past, but I was all excited because, hey, I'm going to use the calendar, I'm going to punch this in, I'm going to do this, and it never really stuck with me. So it's something, definitely just get one of these. You can see everything. I like to keep one of those big, huge paper clips, for the week, and then just kind of smush it into some pages. You don't have to go all the way to the first one because eventually it gets to be a little too much for the semester, or the year, I guess, and it's hard to keep it. It's just it's difficult to fit all the pages in there. It starts getting overbunched. So, but I definitely got used to buying the different colored pens and using a different colored pen for each class. It makes everything more festive and keeps everything a little bit more organized. And you could tell that some weeks I had more than others. Then there's some weeks that just absolutely ridiculous when it comes to my different stuff, but a lot of this stuff, it was so much easier to use once I got into the habit of doing that, which is really easy because normally you sit in the classroom for probably about 5 minutes or so before the professor comes in. I would never sit after class and do it. I would try and fill as much in during class as I could as they spoke about stuff that was due and whatnot, but if it really wasn't that necessary, because I'd go from class A to class B. I'd sit in class B for maybe 5 minutes before the professor actually got there. I hated being late, so I never wanted to walk in more than 5 minutes ahead of time, closer to the time the class actually started. But you'd sit there for probably about 5 minutes or so, and it was easy just to use that as your time instead of being on your phone going on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. It was easy just to go through and see what visuals of what you needed to do that night, what you needed to do over the week, and just constantly immerse yourself in this agenda. Also, a trick for my 5-star binder, or 5-star notebook, excuse me. So I know we're approaching probably 10 minutes, so I'm trying to do this as quick as I can. A tip for this, like I said, I don't like keeping separate notebooks for each class. It's really hard for me just to have my book bag piled that much. But one thing I will say about, I would get a 5-section notebook. Each section for each different class was in the order of the classes that I went. I had biology at 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My first section was strictly biology notes, which I'm going to try and figure out a way to do these better as time goes on, with different colored pens based on the subject, or with highlighters, stuff like that. And I'll also do a video simply on note-taking because I did have a kind of a neat system. I just wish it would be a little more festive, instead of just reading in pencil and just keep going and going and going. And then I'll also talk about having a voice recorder, because those things during just a lecture series can be like the coolest thing you've ever seen. And I'll explain that later too, in a different video. But for right now, Section A was my 8 o'clock class. I had a math class at 9, so my next section would be math. And then once I filled up one section, which my biology would always fill it up first, once I filled up that section, I would just go to a whole new 5-star binder and start them all over again, every single class, whether I had math filled up, you know, psychology, you know, biology, whatever. I would just go so it's the same exact day. You know, I finished it on a Wednesday. I still had classes on Friday, so everything would start over there. That way I had a base set schedule for each one of my notes, so I'm not going, well, this class ended this one, this class ended this one, and so on and so forth. So yeah, and then 11 o'clock was my chemistry class. It was the next one I went into, so I would definitely go, you know, to the next section for that. The last section I never really used for anything except for scrap paper, you know, for math, or a little tiny, oh, I have to jot something down, although I normally use my agenda for that, but anything where I didn't actually have a section for it and I really didn't need to keep, I would go ahead and write down in that last section. So that worked out really, really nice, and I know if I have more classes in the future during a certain amount of time, you know, I'm willing to go to 2 5-star notebooks, but as long as I keep that same set, you know, A, B, C, D for it, it definitely worked out for me, having, you know, like I said, having a hard time to keep organized normally. The only other time I would have a separate notebook, excuse me, that was like just a 1-section thing would strictly be for math scrap. Those are my main tips for the semester. Like I said, I'll go into more details of each section with different videos, and I'll definitely do like a desk tour and how I have my study area, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Designed, I guess, to suit my needs and to keep me on task. Same with how I set up my schedule to study and whatnot, and I'll do some different things with that. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. If you guys have any suggestions, any comments, or ideas you want me to do for videos, I would absolutely love ideas. Like I said, I'm just getting started into the organization videos. Absolutely love doing this type of stuff. I'm just not very good at keeping, I have to do it my own way, because there's some stuff that other people can do that I can't. That's hard for me to get going, get the ball rolling with stuff and staying with it. So definitely send me ideas, and I'll shoot you up for that and show you how I managed to get through and do some different things with that. So yeah, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I love desk tours. Send me video responses for desk tours. I would love that. You might help me out with something that I just don't know yet, or, you know, haven't had a chance to experiment with. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!